there's absolutely no doubt that the Walsh family are one of the stories of this year's John Smith's Grand National. Ruby, of course, as ever, will be riding a strongly fancied horse in on his own, and Katie rides a really interesting runner in her father's Seabass, and of course Ruby won for Ted in 2000 on Papillon. So it's all brewing up rather nicely. Katie first, thanks for joining us. How are you feeling with just a day to go until the biggest moment of your career?
Yeah, good, really looking forward to it now. Can't come round fast enough, so hopefully now it all goes off well.
And Seabass is a horse that has been a revelation. We've been talking about Hunt Ball this side of the Irish scene. What he's done is pretty similar, the way he's come through the ranks.
Yeah, a bit the same, kind of both won a point, and then he's after creeping up the handicap all along. So Hunt Ball had his day in Cheltenham, so hopefully Seabass will have his day tomorrow.
Has it been well known within the Walsh family that there's been this secret weapon Seabass lurking there for some time?
I got him beat off 95 in Clonmel. I don't know about that, but yeah, I suppose he got injured sort of 2 years, 18 months ago, and so he's a bit forgotten about then, but Dad had him hidden somewhere and he came back this year, and he's been working really well all year, and he's been creeping up the weights.
He seems an incredibly willing horse, Kate. Just watching some of his races, every time he's asked, he just grinds out that little bit more.
Yeah, he's good, he's tough, which is great. He's tough, he's a lovely ride, he's got a nice soft mouth, he's not too free, he's good to jump, so but he's tough, which I think is something that you need, and he's a hardened horse, he's 9 years of age, which is on his side as well.
Just talk us through your memories of when Ruby won for your dad the first time on Papillon.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was I came over Papillon on the box and led him up in the whole lot, and it was the old Cheltenham, not the old Aintree then obviously, but I was standing out at the edge of the track watching it with Brendan and Ted, and we were roaring. Sure, it's a feeling you can't describe. It was unbelievable. It was a day I'll never forget.
And watching him do it, was that any inspiration to you to think, well, one day I might be riding in this, or was that just an unrealistic dream at that stage?
It was an unrealistic dream. I never thought at 15 I'd be riding in an English national. So it was unrealistic then. It was just kind of in the last kind of 2 or 3 years, maybe I kind of thought maybe I might get a spin somewhere, and I was meant to ride Armonti last year and he didn't run, and kind of Seabass, I didn't think I'd be riding him this year either, until kind of, he started to win, and then started to kind of, started coming closer to it's only in the last couple of months that I thought that I might get another chance to ride in it.
Now, of course, you've played your part because you've opted to ride for Willie Mullins. Was that purely a professional decision because of your allegiance to him and or Paul Nicholls, or was it because you felt that he didn't have the best chance of all the ones that were available to you?
No, it is. I mean, I had quite a number of rides at Cheltenham and a load of rides here today for Paul Nicholls and Willie Mullins, and they backed me all year, 2 huge yards. And you come to the rest of the Grand National, like, it'd be sentimental to ride for Dad. We have to think professionally as well, and I give on his own a great chance, so does Willie. Paul fancies Neptune Cologne, so I was basically professionally going to have to ride one of the two of them, and that left the door open.
I know when family are involved it's very difficult to assess things clinically, but if you were going to try to, would you have Seabass up there on your shortlist? Seabass,
the chance if he stays. It's a worry I have. Dad and Katie think he will. I'm not so certain. That's the one worry I would have, is stamina. 2.5 up to 3 miles seems to be ideal for him, but looking at him in Leopardstown, you'd say, yeah, he could stay, but could and would are two different things.
Is he a horse you can ride to try and get the trip, or do you just have to let him roll?
No, I don't think you have to let him roll. Like, he seems to have plenty of pace, which is great. So I mean, I'd love to be heading out on the last circuit. Hopefully, I get that far and head out in the last circuit, and hopefully, I'll have plenty of horse in hand. And when it comes to getting down 4.5 miles, we'll worry about it then. But sure, listen, I don't know, but we'll give it a go anyway.
And have you two walked the course together?
We would have walked around yesterday, but you're on about stamina. They either stay or they don't in the English National. You can't make them stay. You can drop them in and creep and you can try and conserve energy, but it's stamina sapping. You either stay or you don't. You can't sneak along like you might a next flat horse and maybe get 2 miles in a sharp track if you're lucky, conserving energy. English National is different. They either stay or they don't.
Do you think it's harder to make up ground in the race from the back now than it used to be for whatever reason?
Depends how you're jumping. If you're jumping, you can make up the ground. If you're not jumping, you're losing ground. If you're dropped in and you're jumping well, you can make it up, no problem. 5 or 6 good jumps puts you in there, but if you're not jumping, it's pretty big task.
So nice quiet night tonight.
Oh, nice quiet night tonight, definitely. I'd say a very sleepless night for me anyway. This fella probably be stuck to the pillow. Wouldn't bother him at all, but I'm sure I'll be leaping around the bed. But sure, listen, it's great. It's great to be a part of it. I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully I get round.
But even with your vast experience, there must still be a few jitters going into the National. Not nerves as such, but is there a special feeling still, or are you getting a little blasé about it now?
No, there's excitement, big time. You come in here tomorrow, this place will be jammed. I mean, the whole build up to the National, from the time you leave the weigh room to even start the race, is like 2 days racing on its own, and it's wonderful to be part of. It is the greatest jump race in the world. It's wonderful to partake in it. It's great to get around. It's unbelievable to win it, but it's still nice to get around, and everyone heading out, the guys to get around, you know, it's a sense of achievement, and it is still a race that everybody gets excited about.
And just on to today, you've got some fabulous rides through the card, like you did yesterday. Which one excites you the most?
I think my first two are my best two. Prospect Wells, I thought I was unlucky, a bit unlucky on him in Cheltenham. I switched out going to the second last to follow AP. I was following Cinder Nash's, and I switched out onto AP's heels, and the two of us met with interference right at the back of the second last hurdle, and Cinder Nash has got a wonderful run round the in and ended up winning. If I'd stayed behind him, I'd have gone closer. That's a call you make, so I think he's a chance in the first, and Silviano comes here fresh in the second race. I think Champion Court ran a cracking race in Cheltenham, and that road like a really good race with Sir de Champon. He might be hard to beat, but I think Silviano's a good chance as well. After that, if any of the others could collect it, it'd be the bonus.
Now, you rode Frankie Figg in the Topham. It could be quite an exciting ride.
I was watching the replays in there before I came out. First year he fell at Beechers, the second year he should have fallen at the second last. The third year he looked okay. He looks to be getting better with age, but it's probably hard to fancy him in form. Unless this place does something for him. And even watching him in the last couple of Tophams, it's still hard to see him winning.
You wouldn't mind riding him though, would you?
No, he's all yours. I'll just stick with Seabass tomorrow.
Well, I'm sure you'll be cheering each other on if you can't win the race yourselves. Ruby, Katie, thanks ever so much for chatting to us.
Nick, thank you.
Thanks.